we are discussing about the ninth chapter. The ninth chapter is gravitation. Gravitation. Okay. In this chapter, first we want to discuss about Kepler's laws. Now, how the planets moves and how the sun glows. About these, number of theorems are there. The first theorem is explained by Copernicus. It is called by heliocentric theory that we are studied in school levels. Copernicus, what he says means all planets revolves around the sun, but sun is a fixed point. Sun is not moves, but around the sun all planets are revolves. How it is revolves means he can say circular path. Actually, this is true. When he was explained this statement in those days, the rulers, the Greek rulers, all killed him. That's why no another one is not explained about the planets and their motion. After that, another scientist, his name is called Ptolemy, and was introduced another theorem, that is geocentric theorem. Actually this is wrong, but was explained. What he was says, as per geocentric theory, sun is revolves around the earth. Actually this is wrong, but he was given one statement, it is a wrong. After that, Tycho Brahe, etc., scientists are explained about the planetary motion. But in the year of 1609 year, Kepler, first he was explained two laws about the planetary motion. After 10 years, 1619th year, he was explained another law. Totally how many laws explained by the Kepler about the planetary motion? 3 laws. First was explained 2 laws, after 10 years explained another law. Totally 3 laws are explained by the Kepler. And what he was accepted? Copernicus heliocentric theory was accepted and was refused, and he was strongly opposed the Ptolemy geocentric theory. Which is correct? Geocentric theory is correct or heliocentric theory is correct? Kepler says heliocentric theory is correct, which is explained by the Copernicus. Geocentric theory is wrong, which is explained by Ptolemy. Okay, Kepler accepts the Copernicus heliocentric theory. Then after he was explained about 3 laws for the planetary motion, how the planets revolves around the sun. Now the first law, that is called law of orbit. Law of orbit. He is a sun. We know the 9 planets around the sun. 9 planets means all planets. All planets revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. This is called elliptical orbit. All planets revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Sun is the focus of them for all particles, sorry, for all planets. Sun is the focus. Okay, this is called law of orbit. It is also known as Kepler's first law. What is the Kepler's first law or law of orbit? All the planets revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit. Sun is focus of them. This is called law of orbit and also known as Kepler's first law. This is the diagram. This is called elliptical orbit. Now the second law of Kepler. The second law of Kepler is called law of area. It has two statements. First one, a line join between sun and planet. This is the line join between sun and planet. A line join between sun and planet sweeps, means moves, sweeps equal areas in an equal intervals of a time. A line join between sun and planet sweeps equal areas in an equal intervals of a time. This is called law of area. This is also known as Kepler's second law. Now what is the meaning of that? Okay, this is the first position of the planet. After some time, you take 1 hour or 2 hours. After 1 hour, this planet moves from here to here. It occupies some area. Okay. After 1 hour, it maybe reaches here. It is occupies this area. This area and this area, what happen? Same. After 1 hour, it maybe moves from here to here maybe. The area is what happen? Same. Means to move from one position to another position, you take the time is the same. Here to here the time, here to here is 1 hour, here to here 1 hour. But the area occupied by the first position to second position, or second position to third position, or fourth position to fifth position, if the time is same, the occupied area also same. This is called as law of area. And we can express this in another way. Aerial velocity of planet is constant. Aerial velocity of the planet is constant. What is aerial velocity? Area by time. Area by time is always constant. How we can write mathematically? dA by dt. Aerial velocity dA by dt is equal to constant. By the simplification, we get the equation L by 2m. What is the L? Angular momentum. This term we are studied in the rotatory motion. Angular momentum always constant. When the object is in a rotatory motion, angular momentum always constant. L is constant. What is m? M is mass of the planet. If the constant is divided by any value, is a constant. That's why aerial velocity of planet is constant. It is also known as Kepler's second law. Actual, what is the name of Kepler's second law? Law of area. What is the mathematical expression for it is? dA by dt is equal to constant, or L by 2m is equal to constant. Okay. This is the line join between the sun and planet. The line join between the sun and planet, here to here it is called as radius vector. What it is called? Radius vector. Why? It is an orbit. Circle you take radius. In a circle, radius is constant, but here it is constant, here to here it is more, but here to here it is distance less. You take here, again the distance is less. Here distance what happen compared to here distance what happen? Increases. This radius is changes per every instant. If the radius is changes per every instant is called radius vector. In some books, how the law of area is explained is the line joined between sun and planet, radius vector is same in all equal interests of them. In that way also explained. Okay, leave it. Now, this is the law of area. Now, Kepler's third law. What is the name of the Kepler's third law? Law of time period. Law of time period. And what he says? Square of time period of a planet is directly proportional to cube of semi-major axis of planet. This is called law of time period and also known as Kepler's third law. I am not written. Okay, this is called Kepler's third law. This is also known as Kepler's third law. Okay. Now, whatever the mathematical expression T square proportional to AQ. To complete one revolution is called time period, but you take the square of the time period. You take one complete revolution. One complete revolution is called time period, but square of the time period is proportional to, it is the sun, this is the sun. Here to here distance is semi-major axis. Here to here distance is called semi-minor axis. Here to here distance is more, here to here distance is less. Total one is major axis, but half we are taken. This is major axis, this is minor axis, but here to here it is called half. That's why semi-major axis. It is semi-minor axis. What is the Kepler's third law? Square of the time period of a planet is directly proportional to cube of semi-major axis of the planet. This is called Kepler's third law. Actually, it is called law of time period. What is the mathematical expression for it is T square proportional to a cube. Okay, totally how many laws explained by the Kepler? 3 laws. The first law is called law of orbit. Second one is called law of area. And the third one is called law of time period. This is very important question in this chapter for 4 marks. How we can get this in the examination? Write the Kepler laws. Otherwise, write and explain the Kepler's laws. For each law, you must draw the diagram. If we can take a diagram, but it is looks like very good.